Hi Sag, welcome to December. This is Teresa from Tarot by T. And before I get started on your reading, I want to call in some good energy and create some sacred space. And I want to say thank you for liking and subscribing to my channel. Thank you for sharing. And for those who've taken time out to leave a comment or feedback on the readings, thank you. I appreciate your feedback and I read all of them. And for those who've ordered readings, thank you. I appreciate your support. So let's see what's coming up in December for Sag. We're having a new moon in your sign on the 7th. Jupiter is in your sign for the whole year, so you're the golden child this year. December should be a good month for you. And then we have a full moon in Cancer on the 22nd. And Mercury's going retrograde on the 6th, so I think we're coming out of our stuckness and we're moving into a time of action and abundance, especially December with all this Jupiter and Sagittarian energy. So let's see what's going on for Sag. What does Sag need to know about love and relationships for the month of December? What is coming up for Sagittarius for the month of December? In terms of love, relationships, anything else important? What does Sag need to know? What does Sag need to know about December? And happy birthday for those of you celebrating in December. Okay, let's see what we have for Sag. Two of Pentacles, the King of Cups, the Magician, the Lovers, the Emperor, the King of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Cups, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Knight of Swords. Okay, so you might be juggling two relationships in the month of December, Sag. Okay, here, this is a card of you're juggling a lot. You've got a lot on your plate. And that's typical because, you know, you always want to take on more and more, you know. Sometimes you have to, especially now with, you know, because you're such an optimist and you're thinking, yeah, I want to do it all. So you have to just make sure that you're not taking on too much. That's the only advice. Other than that, enjoy the abundance. Enjoy that Jupiter is bringing you opportunity and expansion. Jupiter in Sag is really, it's the luck planet. It's the planet of expansion and luck and, you know, positive thinking and optimism. It's a planet of abundance. So take advantage of that energy. And so you are juggling two situations here and you're trying to make a decision because you know you can't keep it up forever. At some point you're going to have to choose a path and let one thing go. Because look at all these. You have these new beginnings. The Ace of Wands and the Ace of Cups here. So I feel like there's opportunity not just in relationship but also in career. That doors are opening up for you, and it might even be that you have to choose between two career paths as well. Now, the good thing, you have this King of Cups crossing you. So you have these two kings, the King of Cups and the King of Pentacles. So you could be dealing with two different people. The King of Cups is someone who is could be a water sign, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. This person is very sensitive, very kind, very loving, very compassionate. Could be a healer or a counselor working in the medical profession or some type of counselor, you know, social work, that kind of thing. Healing work. This person keeps their feelings. They feel deeply, but they don't always express their feelings. But they feel deeply about people and things. But they're more quiet and reserved. You may not know if something's upsetting them. But they could be a good friend. So maybe someone that you can confide in. Someone that listens to you and you just tell them everything. And they're your mentor, your confidant, whatever. So this could be male or female. Don't go by the kings that it necessarily has to be male. So this is something that... Now you have the Magician here as a basis of your issue. The Magician is saying that you have all the skills you need. You have all the talent. You have the ability to manifest whatever you want this month. The only thing that you have to be aware of is that you have to focus on a positive outcome. And you have to see yourself in that positive outcome. Not as a future thing, but as a current situation. So if you're not in a relationship, visualize the perfect relationship as if it's already in your life and show gratitude. Thank the universe. Say, thank you for this wonderful romantic relationship. Thank you for this wonderful career opportunity. Thank you for all the joy and abundance that's already in my life. Because the more you show gratitude for what you have, the more the universe supplies, matches that with future events and situations. But if you're coming from a place of lack, then you're only going to enforce that. You're going to be, so whatever you focus on, it's your thoughts are very powerful this month. So whatever you're focusing on, you are going to bring into your world. So you want to make sure that you keep those thoughts positive and filled with abundance. Like, money flows easily to me. Love flows easily to me. I am surrounded by love and abundance. I am surrounded by, joy in the work that I do, in the people I connect with. That's the key to manifesting everything that you want for December. You have the Lovers here. So there could be that there's a strong attraction in your life. There's a strong potential for love at the soulmate level in December. And it could be either you're having a new beginning, because you have this Ace of Cups here, which can represent, aces are always new beginnings. The cups, a new way of thinking and feeling, you could have a new beginning in a current relationship where you decide to approach love in a different way, in a more positive way. If you've had any problems in the past, you can overcome them, make a new start this month, especially because the new moon in Sag, it's going to be falling in your first house of self-expression. That's you, how you present yourself to the world. So you could be presenting, you can create a new you and be presenting that new persona to the world. That new, more positive, outgoing, abundant Sag. It could also bring, if you're not in a relationship, it could bring a new relationship. This is also a new beginning. Now, these two cards are time cards. So if there is something new coming, if you're not in a relationship, a new opportunity could come over the summer months. And a new career opportunity could come in the spring. But if you are already in a relationship, you could be working toward these new beginnings. And coming up in the future, because the Lovers always represents a choice. This is reinforcing the choice aspect of the Two of Pentacles. So you might have to choose between two paths. Now, in a love situation, it might be that you're choosing between two different people. Maybe you have two people interested in you, and you're trying to decide, well, which one's the right match for me? Who would I rather devote my love and energy towards? So you're going to be making that decision in December. And the Lovers, the thing is, it could also be a decision between two career paths, because I'm seeing not only love energy, I'm seeing career energy here. So if it's not love, it's career. So it depends what fits you. Since this is a general reading, different things might apply to different people. But one thing about the Lovers, the choice is a significant one. It's going to mean the difference, because once you make that decision, it's going to change the path of your life in some way. So you can't go back. You can't say, oh, do over, I want to go back to this thing that I left behind. Once you choose one thing, the other choice goes away. So you can't go back. So you have to make sure that you know what you really want and choose wisely this month. That doesn't mean it's not to scare you or anything, because you have abundance coming and you have choices that can lead to beautiful new beginnings. But you can't have it all. Some people want to have everything. And with the Two of Pentacles, if you've been trying to do it all, juggle it all, it's going to wear you out. You can't keep that up. At some point, you're going to have to make a decision. Where do I want to focus my love? Where do I want to focus my energy? Now, coming up in the future, you have the Emperor here. And the Emperor is something that's very... This is the executive card, the boss card, the entrepreneur. So you can be connecting. Either you're stepping into a leadership role where you are in charge and you're building something solid and stable. Or you're connecting with someone. Could be an earth sign, because the King of Pentacles, that represents earth pentacles usually. So that could be Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. You might be working with someone with that, under those conditions. But even if it's not the sign, the King of Pentacles usually represents someone who is very down to earth, very stable, very reliable, cares very much about family. Home and family is very important to this King of Pentacles. Material success, security, financial security. This person might even work in a financial arena, dealing with money or land. They could own their own business. They could be a person you go to for a bank loan. They could be an accountant. They could be a banker, a real estate broker, or they could just own their own business. Just be a solid, entrepreneur. Someone who may not be very exciting. Like the air signs are a little bit more outgoing, and the fire signs are more outgoing and exciting. The earth signs are more stable. They're reliable. They're very practical. They don't go out on a limb taking wild, crazy risks. Now, Sag is, the sign of gambling, opportunity. You're willing to take the risk. You're willing to take a gamble because you're so optimistic. Because you know you're going to win. You just know it. And so you're willing to go out on a limb. But you might be dealing with someone who is a little bit more cautious. And they're not. So if things are not developing the way you want, it could be because this person is very cautious and wants to be sure before they take action, before they express their feelings, or before they want to partner, create some kind of partnership. So don't be impatient. And as a matter of fact, I just thought of another thing with this King of Cups. This could also be a person, if it's not choosing between two people and you're trying to decide, do I get involved with someone or not get involved with someone? It could be that too. It could be, do I stay or do I go? Do I have a new start in this relationship? Or do I leave it behind and move on to something new? Or do I get involved with this new person who's showing interest in me? It could be all those things with the decision making. But since this person represents a counselor or a mentor or someone that you would go to for advice, this could be a friend that you're bouncing ideas off of, saying, what do you think I should do? I got these two situations, or I've got this decision to make, and I don't know what to do. And this could be a person that's in your life that's going to help you make that decision. So that's another option for the King of Cups. But definitely coming up in the future, I'm seeing this stable partnership potential. And it could be connected to your career in some way. Maybe it's someone you meet through work. But even if it's not, I'm seeing like two opportunities. Like it could be work and love at the same time. So because you have the Ace of Wands here. So you could be connecting with someone who is in a leadership position, who is in some type of position of authority. You could also be the person who's you could be stepping into a leadership role. And maybe together you're creating something new. You're creating a new career opportunity or a new beginning that you're really... it should be exciting, but this is falling in your negative thinking sector. So part of you is doubting the potential of this. I'm feeling that maybe you don't want to get your hopes up. Maybe you want to be excited about it, but you're like being cautious and you're saying, well, I don't know if this is going to work out, because you've got this Seven of Pentacles here in your wish fulfillment sector. And this is a card of evaluation. This is a card of, well, I've planted all these seeds. Now let's see where it's going to go. I don't know where it's going to go. So you're kind of doubting the success potential, but don't do that, because I think it's going to be, you are ripe for new beginnings. You are ripe for abundance. If you felt stagnation over the past couple of years, Jupiter is supporting you now. You've got Jupiter for a whole year in your sign. And so now's the time to strike. Now's the time to go out, go after what you want. Now's the time to achieve a dream. that you've always wanted to achieve. Don't let negative thinking or pessimism stop you. Don't let doubt stop you. Maybe not, because Sagittarians are pretty optimistic. I mean, that's what fuels your fire. You know, you think, well, I can do this. Yeah, I can do this. But then you start to have doubts. You know, the gremlin creeps in and starts to go, well, I don't know, maybe this won't work out. You know, because you want things to happen right away, and if things are taking time to develop, because we've had all this retrograde energy that we've been living through, you might start doubting your initial, idea. Like, I don't know if this is going to work. Is this really going to work? Maybe I was overly optimistic. No. We're coming into forward motion now, with everything moving into direct motion. You know, Mercury's going direct on the 6th of December. Neptune started going direct the end of November. All the planets are falling into their home, which is really strong. You know, Jupiter is in its home in Sagittarius. Neptune's in its home in Pisces. Saturn's at home in Capricorn. Mars right now is in Pisces, but it's going to be moving into Aries in the next couple of weeks. So we're moving into a time when it's time to take action. When it's time to get your ducks in a row during Mercury retrograde. Now it's time to hit the ground running. I'm thinking, especially at the beginning of the year, is when you're going to start to see that the universe, the planets are lining up to push people forward. We've had enough time to think and prepare and plan. Now it's time for action. So the Ace, this could happen like March. This is the time frame of March, April, May. So you might still be working on something that's going to be launched at that time. And for the love situation, someone is interested in you. Someone is wanting to start a new relationship. This is your environment. It's coming out of your environment. So I don't know if you've been out and about. It could be through work, or it could be through your local area, your neighborhood. You have the potential there's someone that may make their feelings known in the coming months. And you may be starting a new relationship. But since this is a time card, it could be in the summer if you're not in one now. It could be over the summer. Maybe through this you start this project with someone new, and this leads to a relationship over the summer. And so don't be too concerned about the seeds that you're planting. Don't worry that the seeds are not going to bloom and flower and offer their fruit. You are going to receive the abundance. Now you have the Knight of Swords here. This is a card of something happening quickly. Something either coming in or going out with great speed. So you could be, if some of you might be leaving a relationship that with an air sign, or maybe an air sign might be moving away from you or moving out of your environment. Because that's like hasty energy. Or it could be, if it doesn't represent a person, it can represent your energy that once things start to take off, you're going to want to move quickly. You're going to want to take action. When these opportunities are presented to you, you're going to jump on it. So the only thing about this card, just make sure that you're not, you want to check all your, check into everything before you make a move. Don't be too hasty where you're not looking where you're going. That's all. But you have all the signs for like new love and potential for a stable situation, both in career and in love. So let's see what the astrology has to say. So you have the new moon in Sag at 15 degrees on December 7th is in your first house. And Uranus is now in your 5th house. It's been retrograde. It's going to go direct next year. But it's been shaking up your romance, shaking up your relationships with children, creative projects. It may bring a new creative project unexpectedly out of the blue that involves technology or the internet or some type of unique approach, out-of-the-box thinking. You might be feeling very creative. Mercury is in the 12th house, so you might be focusing on psychological issues. You might be keeping your thoughts hidden, or your plans or ideas under wraps for now. They're still under development. And if you're having any thoughts at all, it'd be a good time to think about ways that your thinking holds you back. The way you are, because the Mercury rules thoughts, communication. There could be confusion in communication, especially because Mercury is retrograde. So if you're signing any contracts, you want to make sure that you're reading the fine print. You have Neptune and Mars in the 4th house, which is squaring the moon, the new moon. So although it's a time for new beginnings, you might have something going on at home that's interfering with your success or your new start. Maybe you have to do some work around the house that involves, with Neptune, you could be having some kind of water issue or mold or something that you have to take care of. And that could be interfering with, or you could be just working around the house trying to get things in order, trying to make your house your sanctuary. So if you're not dealing with the water problem, you could be setting up your home in a way that that helps you to deal with the stress of the world. So when you come home, this is my sanctuary. You might be renovating the house in some way, because Mars is usually where your energy is. So sometimes it can mean arguments with people in the home. So if you're sharing a home with someone, you could be arguing over how to do things, how to decorate, or you might have different ideas. But this is a time of healing. The North Node has moved into Cancer. So it's time for us to take a step back and nurture ourselves. Think about where are we spending our energy, and are we leaving enough room to heal ourselves? I mean, it's one thing, it's great to give to others and to try and help others, but at some time you have to leave time for you. Leave time for you to recharge and to heal. Because Mercury is in Scorpio right now, so you are doing some deep thinking. You're delving. It's a good time for counseling. If you're feeling like you're having some kind of issue that you need to get at, some kind of baggage that you need to release, it would be a good time to talk to a counselor to release that with any kind of limiting beliefs or self-doubt. Because Mercury is trining Chiron, the wounded healer. So it's a good time for healing, to get at those things. And it's also trining the North Node in Cancer. So one of the ways that you can bring greater healing to your life is to delve into that shadow aspect of ourselves. Delve into your unconscious. Is there anything that needs to be weeded out from your unconscious that's preventing you from enjoying your success? It's preventing you from attracting new love. This would be a great time, especially with the new moon in Sag, to go after that, to get rid of those cobwebs in your mind so that you can embrace these new beginnings that are on order, that are going to be coming in the new year, in the 2019. So the full moon in Sag is happening across your financial sectors, the 8th and the 2nd house. The sun is in the 8th house. The sun is in the 2nd house, the moon is in the 8th house. So this could bring a culmination to some financial issue that you've been struggling with. It could bring things out. You have Venus has been in your 12th house. So your money situation, there might have been some murky things going around with money and even love. You might have had, maybe you've been dating someone that you can't, or you have secret feelings for someone, you haven't revealed them. Because Venus in the 12th, anything that's in the 12th is hidden from the public. But the full moon may bring it to the surface. It may bring it out. Usually the full moon shines a light on things. So if there's anything that, maybe you don't even know you have feelings for someone. Maybe you're going to be aware of that. Like, oh, I have feelings for this person. The full moon might make you aware of that. You have Uranus in the 5th house. So, anything could happen out of the blue. Venus in the 12th can mean you have secret feelings, or you're hiding your feelings, or you have a relationship that you haven't been, maybe you started a relationship with someone but you didn't want to announce it to the world and you're keeping it quiet, or you're just wanting more privacy when it comes to love. Those are all the things. But at this full moon, the interesting thing about this full moon is full moons usually mean an ending or a culmination, or where you put energy out with the new moon. By the time you get to the full moon, you get the answer, everything's getting wrapped up. But the full moon is at 0 degrees Cancer. So that means you're ending something, but you're also starting something, because the 0 point is, especially in a cardinal sign, means you're ready to start something new. So maybe if you're ending, you could be ending a relationship, or you could be ending something, some type of financial agreement or commitment, and then beginning to start something new that's going to bring greater abundance into your life, greater love into your life, because Venus is trining Neptune. So that's bringing a dream to fruition. It could make a dream real. It could bring in a very romantic relationship. So by the full moon, and this is happening around the holiday season, you know, Christmas, Hanukkah, you could be spending time with someone that you really care about. You could have a very romantic time. So if you started this new beginning or a new love relationship, that could be a time when the two of you just get together and just enjoy being together, and you have this very romantic, highly, it could be even spiritual connection. Mercury is conjunct Jupiter in your first house. So you may have something that you want to share with the world. You may have some message by the full moon that you want to announce. Maybe you are announcing that you're committing to someone, that you're getting married, or maybe you're announcing that you're in a relationship, that you have this new relationship, or there's this new project, or this new initiative that or a new you. You're just putting a new face out there to the world. You're feeling more optimistic about yourself by the full moon. So any of these things could play a part. But, so I really like this full moon. I think it's going to be very romantic, very, it's going to make people feel very nurtured and very supported. So you might feel like everything's coming together in a good way by the end of the month. So embrace the new beginnings coming your way. And don't be afraid to make choices that are good for you. And if you need to talk to someone about any of the issues that you're facing, reach out to your friends, reach out to people that you trust, so that you can make the right decision, or one that you feel comfortable with. And I don't know, I like this King of Pentacles. I think you have the potential to really connect with someone that's going to be good for you in December. Whether it's a business relationship or a love relationship, it's going to be something that's solid and stable and bring more abundance to your life. So you can let go of those things that aren't working and focus on the good things that are coming. So that's my reading for you for Sag for December. I hope this was a help to you. I hope you enjoyed this reading. And I wish you much luck and love this holiday season. Happy holiday and happy birthday. And I will talk to you again next month. Okay, bye now.